Hi, everyone. Charity Hyams with the Widows Survival Group and Living On with Charity. And I wanted to talk briefly about some ways that our mind works and what we can do to change direction and push our minds in the direction that we want to go instead of in the way that our mind wants to go. Your subconscious mind, it usually wants to keep us safe. It doesn't necessarily think that stepping out, even in a good way, is good for us because it doesn't feel safe. And after trauma, this can be even more apparent. So if our subconscious is trying to keep us safe, even small steps for something that would be positive for us will feel really hard. They will feel like we shouldn't do them. They will feel really stressful. And some easy tips or tricks to get around our subconscious and start to move in the direction that we want to move in instead of in the safety zone. I'm going to give you 3 today. So one is when you wake up, right after you wake up or right before you go to bed, gratitude and positive self-talk are really powerful tools. So before you get out of bed, I'm really thankful for the children that I have. I'm really thankful for the work that I have. I feel like I'm doing better every day. Any kind of positive self-talk about where you want to go and what you have is going to just settle into your subconscious a little bit more because you're more susceptible and to incorporating it in these 2 times. Your mind is in a different state than it is in a very active mind. So when we are stressed, but it's not from something that's bad, it's called eustress. And eustress can feel just as conflicting as stress. So anytime you start to move towards something that you want, you're going to feel eustress. And so just putting it in your back of your head that it's a different kind of stress. One of the things that happens is our brain is so used to seeing what we want to see. No, let me rephrase that. Our brain is so used to seeing what we expect to see. It doesn't always see everything. This is called a scotoma. One of the weird ways to sort of break it is to think of a random object. Like think of butterflies for a week and see how many butterflies shows up. And part of this isn't that butterflies are magically showing up. It's that your brain is now being trained to see butterflies. So why this is important is when we are stuck or when we're feeling really low or, I just don't know how I'm going to get out of this, or I don't know what the next step is. A lot of times it's a scotoma because we actually have the answer. We just can't get ourselves to see it. So stepping back and again, using those morning and evening affirmations or gratitudes about, I know, I know the path. I know the path I should be traveling. I have the answers. they're going to come to me. Starting to change the way your brain thinks is going to be a very powerful tool. The other thing, the 5-second rule, there's a whole book on this by Mel Robbins. We have, between our initial idea, we have 5 seconds before our brain kicks in to shut us up or to slow us down, because our brain doesn't catch up to let's make us safe for 5 seconds. So if you can get the inspiration to do something, for instance, this is what I've been using to get back to writing. If I feel like I need to go write, if I can get to the desk and start writing within 5 seconds, or at least start going towards the desk in 5 seconds, it's much more likely that I will start writing than it will be after that 5 seconds. Because after the 5 seconds, it could be, I'm going to do the dishes first, or I'm hungry, let me make food, or whatever other excuse I can think of to not do what I need to do will come into play. So one of the ways you can use this is when you wake up in the morning. If you can get up within 5 seconds, you're going to have a lot less trouble than if you wake up and try to go back to sleep or any of those other things. So those are just some of how our brain works and how we can work around what our brain is giving us. Because in grief, in trauma, and all of these things, we not only have our normal fears and hard points, we have a whole new set of things that we have to move past. And these are ways that we can move through them more easily and more quickly. Again, wake up and say positive things about your life. And especially if there's something that you're wanting to gear yourself towards, like answers or a new work environment, helping your kids more in a certain area. Like I am calm with my children. My children are healthy and happy. When you get the inspiration to do something, do it within 5 seconds. So I really should do the dishes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that you're up and moving towards the dishes before you get to 5. Remember that a lot of times our brain is trained at this moment to not see things that it doesn't expect to see and to see things that it expects to see. So you can go into the news and only see the really negative things because that is what your brain is expecting to see. One of the ways we change that is by the morning and evening retraining of your subconscious brain. And in the evening before bed, same thing. Right before you fall asleep, when your brain is in that restful state, start saying the things that you want to see in your life. I am calmer. My business is going well. My life is going well. Whatever you want to focus on. So that is my little clip for today. See you soon.